Good morning. I am Father Thomas Mulcrone, the IAFF chaplain and the chaplain for the IAFF Fallen Firefighter Memorial. I am honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today. We are gathered in this special place to honor the memory of those IAFF members who have given their lives in the line of duty. We are joined today by IAFF General President Harold Schaitberger, General Secretary Treasurer Ed Kelly, the entire IAFF Executive Board, and numerous distinguished friends and guests. We are also joined by more than 1,200 members of the IAFF Honor Guard, of which 400 make up the IAFF Pipes and Drums. We are also joined by the Colorado Springs Chorale, and we thank them for their participation this morning. We welcome the family and friends of our fallen and the thousands of fellow firefighters who have made the pilgrimage to this memorial in Colorado Springs to pay their respects to their brothers and sisters. This is the only monument that collectively honors professional union firefighters and emergency medical personnel from the United States and Canada who have lost their lives in the line of duty. This memorial was founded in 1986 by IAFF Convention Action. The centerpiece of the memorial, a sculpture of a firefighter descending a ladder while cradling an infant in one arm, entitled Somewhere Every Day, arrived in 1987. And the first granite walls displaying the etched names of our fallen were erected in 1989. In January of 2015, supported by a unanimous vote of the delegates at the 2014 IAFF convention, the memorial was temporarily decommissioned to allow for the rebuilding process to begin. Over the 8 months that followed, union construction crews and stonemasons carefully deconstructed the memorial, incorporated the precious stone from those original hallowed walls into our new family ring. It now serves as a pathway for our families to follow as they remember their loved ones. The talented hands of the workers who labored on our members' behalf sculpted these new granite walls that now rise to the memory of those we have lost. They engraved their names and placed those strong bronze guardians to stand silently watching over our fallen every hour of every day. Now, please rise as the IAFF Honor Guard presents the colors. Once the colors are posted, please remain standing as the Colorado Springs Chorale sings the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America.
All uniform personnel, attend. Prepare to carry colors. Carry colors. Flight measure by your command. Honor guard. Forward. March. Reset.
To the Canadian colors. Ready? Hey!
Present. Out. Order. Out.
To the American colors. Ready? Hey!
Present. Out. Order. Out.
Right! Right! Face! Hey! Parade. Rest.
Please be seated. As we mark 18 years since our 343 brothers made the ultimate sacrifice at the World Trade Center, it is only right that we pause in silence to remember them, but especially to remember all of our brothers and sisters who have perished in the line of duty. Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for this day, the handiwork of your creative love. We thank you as well for this blessed place, sacred and hallowed ground for our IAFF family. Today we remember and honor the 250 men and women whose dedicated lives were spent in your service. Lord, you gave them to us to grow in wisdom, age, and grace. and now you have called them safely home. Their lives of dedicated service and their supreme sacrifice are not and will never be forgotten. Here at this proud memorial, their names will live on as their memories will in our hearts. Lord, bless their families with faith in their times of doubt, with hope in their times of despair, and with the love that binds us together and joins us more closely to you. We give thanks, Lord, for the many sisters and brothers from locals all over North America who join in solidarity with these families this weekend. Testimony to the great bonds forged by the family of the fire service and this great international union. We are most grateful, too, for the wonderful blessings of hospitality shown to us by the members of Local 5 and by the Colorado Springs Fire Department. Watch over and bless, Lord, those who have reported to duty this day across our two great nations. Protect them with your guiding hand. And in a special way, watch over and keep safe the members of law enforcement and those serving in the armed forces. Be with all who serve on the front lines. May we never forget our fallen heroes. All of these things we ask in your name. Amen. And God bless Canada, and God bless the United States of America.
First colors. Okay. Oh. Forward. On. Final one. Forward. Up.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the tradition of our union and the fire service, IAFF General President Harold Shapeberger and General Secretary Treasurer Ed Kelly will now honor our brothers and sisters by placing the memorial wreath.
Drum major. Arms. Scrimmages. Order. Arm.
Ladies and gentlemen, this memorial belongs to the entire membership of the IAFF, but it rests here in beautiful Colorado Springs. We are most grateful for the strong support we have received from our Local 5, from the Colorado Springs Fire Department, the City of Colorado Springs, and its citizens that make this tribute so special. Our first speaker is a retired colonel from the U.S. Army with more than 30 years of military service. He currently serves on the Colorado Springs City Council. I invite Councilman Bill Murray now to the podium.
Thank you. This is very personal for me, and I'll explain why in a minute. Good morning and welcome. I'm Bill Murray, City Councilman at large from Colorado Springs. I'm humbled and honored to welcome you and thank you for joining our community of Colorado Springs at the base of Pikes Peak, America's mountain, in honoring those who have served and sacrificed for their fellow citizens and their communities. John F. Kennedy once wrote, "We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives." This is our time to stop and thank the firefighters, both behind and in front of me, who have made and are making a difference every day. I stand before you with a unique perspective. In 1978, I joined the fire department in Birmingham, Alabama, IAFF 117. But in the beginning, we all start as rookies. I arrived on the scene of my first fire, holding on the back of the fire engine. This is where the rookies rode. And yes, many did fall off. The rookie was also the plugman. Failure to secure the line around the hydrant was something no one wanted to see or experience. I entered my first burning building without a self-contained breathing apparatus. Difficult and deadly, but that's how we fought the fires. Unfortunately, 2 of my colleagues died in the line of duty. And today, my friends' names appear on these hollowed walls. Thankfully, the International Association of Firefighters helped change these conditions. I served until 1990 when I was asked to return to active duty. But there's one thing I learned. You can never leave the fire department. The fire department stays with you always. In 2004, I retired from the military. Now, on a regular basis, perfect strangers will comment, "Thank you for your service." I quietly acknowledge their kind remarks, but often reflect about the similarities and daily sacrifices of both these services. 24-hour shifts, unusually hazardous conditions, and daily scenes that you could never share or bring home. Do you remember the Running Towards Chaos commercial for the Marines? It shows a line of Marines running across a field into a wall of smoke. Firefighters do this on a regular basis. No filters, without reservation, without concern or fear. It's about what is right, putting others first and helping our communities. These men and women understand that firefighting is a family commitment and sacrifice. Stations, shifts, and crews count on each other and depend on their communities to support them. Everyone in this audience has assisted a firefighter in some way. Family, friends, relatives, and even neighbors. Your support is critical to everything they do. The equipment, manning, and training is dictated by you. Yes, the politicians get involved, but you have the final say. As I pay my respects to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, I also acknowledge those who continue to perform these selfless acts every day. You honor these men and women with your involvement, awareness, and commitment to supporting your local firefighters. Today, as we honor the fallen and remember their sacrifice, it's time to stop and give thanks for their service. And to those in the audience, what I see is dedication, pride, and commitment. To all of you, be aware, be safe, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Councilman Murray. This beautiful city and its citizens are protected by the members of Colorado Springs Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 5. Our brothers and sisters here are the caretakers 365 days a year of this memorial. Local 5 is one of the original 18 locals that founded the IAFF more than 100 years ago on February 28, 1918. I now invite IAFF Local 5 President Dave Noblet to provide greetings. Dave?
On behalf of the men and women of the Colorado Springs Professional Firefighters, Local 5, I welcome you to Colorado Springs and to this most honored memorial. I would like to thank General President Shapeberger, General Secretary Kelly, and the members of the IAFF Executive Board and their staff for their support of this special event. Our appreciation goes to the City of Colorado Springs, the honorable council members in attendance, our fire chief and staff, and the chief and command staff of the Colorado Springs Police Department and the uniformed personnel for their support and attendance here today. I would like to thank the Honor Guard and their commanders, the Colorado Springs Chorale, and the many volunteers who have made this event as special as it deserves to be. Thank you. To this time and place, for the purpose that we come here today, has with it the complexity of emotions. To mourn the loss of a loved one, a brother, a sister, a husband, wife, or parent, gone sooner than we ever thought. For here we are here for us to grieve in that loss. While at the same time, we want to honor the memory of what they did and ultimately what they gave, all of which has brought us here to celebrate their lives and to honor them with our gratitude for their service. We must realize that those who chose this profession do so from a love of what this job means, service, and with that, sacrifice. The sacrifice of family time, of comfort, of fortune, not done for notoriety or for fame, but to give of themselves for others, only to ask that they have the respect from those whom they protect, the respect acknowledged for their sacrifice, and the leveraged gratitude due to them and for those that have been left behind. This hallowed place of honor was meant for the recognition of that service. And I offer to you this promise that the men and women of Local 5 will be here to watch over these sacred grounds in what is our good service, to honor your loved one here today and forever after today. May God bless you, this nation, and this great union, and all that it represents.
Thank you to the Colorado Springs Chorale for your uplifting music. Now, we will honor the IAFF members who have died in the line of duty from the day this great union was founded, February 28, 1918, and that were reported to us in 2018. The names of our fallen will be read by Honor Guard members from IAFF affiliates across the United States and Canada. After each name is read, a bell will sound and teams of flag bearers will render a flag salute with the colors lowered for each name as it is spoken. An IAFF Honor Guard member will then present the family the flag of the International Association of Firefighters. In order to assist us with these presentations, we ask that only one representative from each family stand when your loved one's name is called, and that you remain standing until the flag presenter reaches your seat. At that point, all members of the family that wish may stand and jointly receive the IAFF memorial flag. Following the presentation of the last flag, the IAF Honor Guard will toll the bell and play taps. I now invite our Honor Guard to begin the reading of the names of our fallen.
Forward! Arms! Ready? Face!
We will now present the 95 IAFF members who died in the line of duty between 1918 and 2017 who were reported to us during this past year. These members died from occupational diseases that were recognized by their fire department, their local, and their state or provincial government as occurred in the line of duty.
Milton Newman, Local 141, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Norbert Vandenbranden, Local 141, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Roman Clark, Local 141, Green Bay, Wisconsin. James Momarts, Local 141, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Donald J. Coyne, Local 798, San Francisco, California. Ralph B. Peterson, Local 279, Cheyenne, Wyoming. George E. Arnett, Local 647, Grand Island, Nebraska. John F. Marks, Local 76, Somerville, Massachusetts. Michael C. Jetty, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta.
Michael Gamache, Local 101, Duluth, Minnesota. George D. Pontius Jr., Local 647, Grand Island, Nebraska. John Kitto, Local 1068, Brampton, Ontario. James F. D'Antonio, Local 2140, Milford, Massachusetts. John P. Sullivan, Local 94, New York, New York. L. Frank Hatton, Jr., Local 341, Houston, Texas. Kenneth E. Cook, Local 941, Trail, British Columbia. Kenneth Edwards, Local 112, Los Angeles, California. M. Darren Horn, Local 157, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. James A. Griffiths, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta.
Order! On! Ready? Out! Forward! March!
James K. O'Halloran, Local 1137, Etobicoke, Ontario. Patricia Bird, Local 455, Windsor, Ontario. Richard M. Gattenby, Local 485, St. Catharines, Ontario. Jerry W. Anderson, Local 341, Houston, Texas. Gregory A. Riley, Local 2866, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Roy E. Chapman, Local 1014, Los Angeles County, California. William R. O'Connor, Local 94, New York, New York. Normand Roy, Local 125, Montréal, Québec. Serge Thibault, Local 125, Montréal, Québec.
Robert G. Friday, Local 113, Toronto, Ontario. Thomas Hu, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Willie F. E. Brown, Local 2461, Strathcona County, Alberta. Robert G. W. Wilson, Local 1068, Inglewood, Ontario. Tracy Birkelbach, Local 341, Houston, Texas. William E. Shera, Local 888, Greeley, Colorado. Walter E. Finch Jr., Local 786, Stamford, Connecticut. Maurice Labarre, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Joseph J. Cook, Local 181, Regina, Saskatchewan. Luke R. Pringle, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta.
On behalf of the International Association of Firefighters, I am honored to present you with this flag for your father's dedication, service, and sacrifice. And for Local 266 and the Fayetteville Fire Department,
Robert D. Mills, Local 101, Duluth, Minnesota.
y'all agree with anything? Always.
Philip A. Paris, Local 30, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Lawrence G. Power, Local 288, Hamilton, Ontario. John C. Hickey, Local 1212, Mississauga, Ontario. Joseph A. Billick, Local 754, Tampa, Florida. Melvin M. Wallace, Jr., Local 341, Houston, Texas. Manuel A. Morales, Local 1403, Metropolitan-Dade County, Florida. John A. Lawrence, Local 3631, Orange County, California. John R. Francois, Local 2881, Cal Fire, Sacramento, California.
Norman Gosselin, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Stephen B. Lichtenberg, Local 734, Baltimore, Maryland. Ray Alcover, Local 754, Tampa, Florida. Jerry A. Bonner, Local 2881, Cal Fire, Sacramento, California. Rafael E. Garcia, Local 587, Miami, Florida. James M. Hicks, Local 94, New York, New York. H. Dean Herzberg, Local 1934, Redding, California. Ryan L. Thornton, Sr., Local 372, Long Beach, California. Fernando A. Ordonez, Local 587, Miami, Florida. Corey L. Vanderlee, Local 485, St. Catharines, Ontario.
Alan L. Wayne, Local 34, Little Rock, Arkansas. Neil F. Klein, Local 2928, Palm Beach County, Florida. David L. Gasperson, Local 1270, Salinas, California. Gary C. Robinson, Local 1190, Red Deer, Alberta. David Croston, Local 1908, Clark County, Nevada. Jackie R. McDonald, Jr., Local 341, Houston, Texas. Ken P. Chalapet, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta. Clarence Barr, Local 34, Little Rock, Arkansas. Brian K. Davis, Local 1723, Norwich Township, Ohio.
John Claver, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta. Matthew D. Boyer, Local 3080, Metro Broward, Florida. H. Ron Milroy, Local 626, Scarborough, Ontario. Michael R. Spear, Local 2881, Cal Fire, Sacramento, California. Cynthia M. Steinhoff, Local 2928, Palm Beach County, Florida. Gerard Barret, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Michael P. Reddy, Local 112, Los Angeles, California. Donald J. Urbano, Local 2007, Albany, New York. Edward P. Clayton, Local 2881, Cal Fire, Sacramento, California. Peter S. Guyette, Local 628, Yonkers, New York.
Ready? Halt! Forward! Halt!
Forrest A. Bailey, Jr., Local 341, Houston, Texas. Remy Arsenault, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Douglas W. J. Angrove, Local 905, Nanaimo, British Columbia. Donald M. McDougall, Local 255, Calgary, Alberta. Jean-Pierre Harvey, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Gary N. Barrows, Local 12140, Milford, Massachusetts. J. W. Watson, Local 972, Lubbock, Texas. Pierre Massé, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Luigi Leonti, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec.
Wyatt C.D. Evans, Local 1318, Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Richard J. Schall, Local 73, St. Louis, Missouri. Stephen S. Ledoux, Local 754, Tampa, Florida. Ronald G. Brown Sr., Local 341, Houston, Texas. Kevin L. Ward, Local 1934, Redding, California. Ronald A. Ricks, Local 1664, Montgomery County, Maryland. J. Lewis Brown, Local 1137, Etobicoke, Ontario. Glenn Adams, Local 255, Calgary, Alberta. Lauren E. Martin, Local 2727, Markham, Ontario. J. Gregory Phillips, Local 288, Hamilton, Ontario.
We will now present the 155 IAFF members who died in the line of duty between January 1st and December 31st, 2018.
Thomas H. Thompson, Local 411, York, Ontario. Jason G. McNamee, Local F282, Puget Sound, Washington. Robert G. Brantley, Local 1014, Los Angeles County, California. Matthew Lee Torno, Local 22, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Joseph R. Stack Jr., Local 854, New York, New York. W. Timothy Bodecker, Local 2706, Marshall, Missouri. Larry A.R. Walker, Local 2494, Fort McMurray, Alberta. James P. Kegley Jr., Local 4202, Hanover, Virginia. Jacob Shad Rohr, 2850, Farmington, New Mexico.
Eugene P. Campbell, Local 1616, Weymouth, Massachusetts. Ronald W. Rabin, Local 2622, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. John Kevin Haber, Local 3177, Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Richard A. Williams, Local 4373, Santee, California. J. Mark Wright, Local 1055, Columbia, Missouri. Edward T. Meehan, Local 854, New York, New York. Ronald P. Sveck, Local 94, New York, New York. Roger D. Rhodes, Local 42, Kansas City, Missouri. M. Reese Morrison, Local 2066, Midwest City, Oklahoma. Leslie J. Brown, Local 867, Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Leslie A. Dion, Local 1271, Surrey, British Columbia. Gordon H. Green III, Local 1080, Newport, Rhode Island. Henry L. Biba, Local 632, New Orleans, Louisiana. Carl H. Bessler, Local 1286, Richmond, British Columbia. Mervyn Holtman, Local 80, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Evan McDonald, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta. William P. Willis, Local 332, Asheville, North Carolina. John C. Butler, Local 472, Lafayette, Indiana. Robert H. Shar, Local 485, St. Catharines, Ontario.
Michel Dufine, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. George E. Bellinger, Local 626, Scarborough, Ontario. Timothy R. Lusich, Local 2487, Washoe County, Nevada. Daryl W. Richards, Local 1375, Hollywood, Florida. Gerard Balboa, Local 1403, Metropolitan Dade County, Florida. Paul R. Tukarski, Local 94, New York, New York. Christopher J. Raguso, Local 854, New York, New York. Christopher Zanettis, Local 94, New York, New York. Randall E. Willman, Local 58, Dallas, Texas. Thomas P. Phelan, Local 94, New York, New York.
Keith Young, Local 94, New York, New York. Marvin Larry, Local 27, Seattle, Washington. David E. Rothery, Local 255, Calgary, Alberta. Zachary J. Anthony, Local 627, York, Pennsylvania. Ivan K. Flansha, Local 627, York, Pennsylvania. Michael R. Davidson, Local 854, New York, New York. Tim Kernahan, Local 1782, Coquitlam, British Columbia. John L. Bueller, Local 94, New York, New York. George F. Froelich, Local 94, New York, New York.
Kenneth M. Gill, Local 1856, Oak Bay, British Columbia. Richard L. Garner Jr., Local 311, Madison, Wisconsin. Bernard C. Olive Jr., Local 1173, Baytown, Texas. Pierre Laurent Lebert, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Trent R. Linholt, Local 4110, Auburn City, California. Nicholas Webb, Local 2036, Whitby, Ontario. David W. Dow, Local 772, Bangor, Maine. W. Dave Scott, Local 1212, Mississauga, Ontario. Cecil D. Morris, Local 112, Los Angeles, California. Franklin J. Taylor, Local 142, London, Ontario.
Daniel J. Stryker, Local 94, New York, New York. Stephen T. Kegel, Local 1401, Santa Rosa, California. Jim G. McCutcheon, Local 288, Hamilton, Ontario. Michael S. McFadden, Local 574, Savannah, Georgia. John A. Anastasia, Local 384, Asbury Park, New Jersey. Jeffrey D. Holt, Local 416, Indianapolis, Indiana. Thelonious Adams, Local 1285, Las Vegas, Nevada. Timothy W. Ham, Local 341, Houston, Texas. Terrence L. Hagen, Local 2654, Stony Creek, Ontario.
Paul R. Dooley, Local 1261, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Thomas A. Cannon, Local 848, Attleboro, Massachusetts. Terrence Lorino, Local 94, New York, New York. Tim Catterall, Local 1552, Burlington, Ontario. E. Gary Marchand, Local 455, Windsor, Ontario. Gerard F. Belanger, Local 125, Montreal, Quebec. Juan J. Busio, Local 2, Chicago, Illinois. Robert J. Lembo, Local 94, New York, New York. Michael G. Camello Jr., Local 2424, Cape Coral, Florida. Aaron Leibarger, Local 1309, West Metro, Colorado.
John O. Swabity, Local 106, Bellingham, Washington. Don G. Carpenter, Local 237, Lethbridge, Alberta. Richard Andy Lawler Jr., Local 3823, Weatherford, Texas. Walter Duffy Burns Jr., Local 1828, Snohomish County, Washington. Richard A. Couch, Local 730, Victoria, British Columbia. Steve Miller, Local 64, Kansas City, Kansas. Ronald R. Spatafora, Local 854, New York, New York. David R. Rosa, Local 372, Long Beach, California. Lawrence E. Doolittle, Local 142, London, Ontario.
Benny R. Hutchins, Local 22, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Donald M. King, Local 1253, Cranbrook, British Columbia. Dennis P. Arnold, Local 413, Rockford, Illinois. Eric S. Durham, Local 1563, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. John D. Carrier, Local 162, Ottawa, Ontario. Braden G. Varney, Local 2881, Cal Fire, Sacramento, California. Mark J. Skeens, Local 42, Kansas City, Missouri. Charles Williams, Local 94, New York, New York. Clark W. Douglas, Local 274, White Plains, New York. Arthur A. Vasquez, Local 4459, Ording, Washington.
Nathan E. Flynn, Local 2000, Howard County, Maryland. Jeremy N. Stoke, Local 1934, Redding, California. Max L. Weltons, Jr., Local 624, San Antonio, Texas. Richard B. Holmes, Local 1212, Mississauga, Ontario. Susan E. Pipitone Braley, Local 143, Everett, Massachusetts. Herbert L. Caldwell, Jr., Local 1616, Weymouth, Massachusetts. Richard A. Knowlton, Local 2172, Hyannis, Massachusetts. Michael T. McDonald, Local 94, New York, New York. Matthew D. Burchett, Local 1696, Salt Lake County, Utah. C. Douglas Topliff, Local 455, Windsor, Ontario.
Ron Stokely, Local 142, London, Ontario. Jimmy Martinez, Local 94, New York, New York. Mark R. Renault, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta. Peter A. Aliotti, Local 1230, Contra Costa County, California. Lawrence M. Collier, Local 460, Brantford, Ontario. Roderick J. Fremlin, Local 529, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Dennis G. Heaney, Local 94, New York, New York. R. Joseph Duran, Local 2734, Chico, California. John R. Elgis, Local 94, New York, New York. Anthony R. Wetzel, Local 3321, Rockingham County, Virginia.
Mark D. Bollinger, Local 493, Chandler, Arizona. Charles W. Davis, Jr., Local 2141, Alexandria, Virginia. Michael K. Matnack, Local 3080, Metro Broward, Florida. Gregory R. Ewert, Local 1289, Modesto, California. D. Troy Russell, Local 4457, Kelowna, British Columbia. Matthew R. Keller, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta. Harry Timinski, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta. Thomas W. Hayden, Local 1763, Delta, British Columbia. Jesse W. McCullough, Local 1619, Prince George's County, Maryland. Bradford T. Clark, Local 4202, Hanover, Virginia.
R. Ronald W. Hunter, Local 455, Windsor, Ontario. Edward J. Batten, Local 418, East York, Ontario. Jack McClay, Local 1582, Oakville, Ontario. P. David Foster, Local 4660, Hearst, Texas. Robert A. Hetzer, Jr., Local 136, Dayton, Ohio. William J. Sproul, Local 848, Attleboro, Massachusetts. Samuel S. Crisafoli, Jr., Local 1707, Natick, Massachusetts. Francisco J. Gutierrez, Jr., Local 1424, Key West, Florida. James L. McLaughlin, Local 113, Toronto, Ontario. Thomas A. Stagg, Local 1563, Anne Arundel County, Maryland.
Darrell L. Wasmer, Local 3754, Liberty Township, Ohio. Kevin P. O'Connell, Local 1568, Henrico County, Virginia. Roy S. Davis, Local 323, Burnaby, British Columbia. Jamie Galazar, Jr., Local 718, Boston, Massachusetts. Richard F. Steiner, Local 718, Boston, Massachusetts. Michael J. Lubig, Local 344, Detroit, Michigan. Timothy I. Boutine, Local 941, Trail, British Columbia. Russell V. Fagan, Local 1014, Los Angeles County, California. Daniel C. Bouvet, Local 94, New York, New York. Mike D. Kirk, Local 798, San Francisco, California.
Joseph A. Nick, Local 1941, Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Dennis L. Brent, Local 2363, Charlottesville, Virginia. W. Peter Harding, Local 142, London, Ontario. John S. Machella, Local 854, New York, New York. J. Scott Daly, Local 3888, Toronto, Ontario. Christopher J. Roy, Local 1009, Worcester, Massachusetts. David Allen Fay, Local 876, Spokane Valley, Washington. Timothy D. Kruger, Local 876, Spokane Valley, Washington. Elmer J. Benning, Local 209, Edmonton, Alberta.
Dominic F. Barbera, Local 1403, Metropolitan-Dade County, Florida, Vice President Emeritus for the IAFF's 12th District. A true friend, a dedicated and inspiring leader, and a steadfast union member.
Everyone please rise. I am Bruce Brown, your IAFF Honor Guard Commander. The sounding of the bell is a tradition of the fire service. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the bell that signaled the beginning of that day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell, which summoned these brave men and women to fight fires and to place their lives on the line for the good of their fellow citizens. When the fire was out and an alarm had come to an end, it was the bell that signaled the completion of that call. When a firefighter had died in the line of duty, it was the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. And so, to those who have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow man, their task completed, their duties well done, we will again sound their last alarm. They have gone home.
All uniform personnel, active. Freeze and on. Order on. Prepare to lower colors. Lower! Colors! Parade! Hey! About. Hey! Forward. March.
Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce this union's leader, General President of the International Association of Firefighters, Harold A. Schaefer.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today to honor and celebrate the lives of our fallen sisters and brothers. Many of you have traveled great distances to pay respect to your loved one as we add their name to these sacred and beautiful black granite walls. Others are here from the Colorado Springs community to help us commemorate the lives of those lost. And still there are many more who are unable to join us in person, but are with us via our online live stream to honor those brave men and women. On behalf of our General Secretary Treasurer, Ed Kelly, the members of our Executive Board and trustees, and the 319,000 plus members of the International Association of Firefighters, it is my great privilege to welcome you all to the IAFF Fallen Firefighter Memorial, so that together we may pay tribute to those we have lost from our ranks and our firefighter family. To Father McCrone, our chaplain, I want to personally thank you for the spiritual guidance that you provide to our members. Your commitment over these many years to the IAFF, our members and our fallen, does not go unnoticed. We are more appreciative than words can possibly convey. Thank you so much, Father, for everything you do for us. And to Colorado Springs firefighters, Local 5, under the leadership of President Dave Noblett, you have again gone above and beyond to see that the families of our fallen are cared for from the moment they arrive until they leave to return home, making certain that this memorial service is fitting of the sacrifice of their loved one that we're here to honor. Your steadfast attention helps ensure the dignity of these hallowed grounds year after year. The dedication of you and your team to protecting and maintaining this memorial is a testament to the values of the IAFF. Dave, thank you so much, and to all of those at Local 5. Thank you, brother. I also want to thank Councilman Murray, not only for being here with us today, but for sharing your words of support of the men and women of this incredible profession. We appreciate your support, and we're more proud to call you a brother. Thank you, sir. And I want to take a personal moment here to recognize one great IAFF leader in particular who we're memorializing today, Dominic F. Barbera. I was privileged to read Dominic's name and to join our 12th District Vice President Walt Dix and Local 1403 President Omar Blanco to present the flag to Dominic's wonderful wife, Beverly. Dominic was a trusted friend, a valuable asset to the IAFF and all of labor, holding his first union card when he was just 16 years old. He was a charter member and the first president of Bell Harbor, Local 1844, later serving as Metro Dade's local president for nearly 20 years and as the IAFF's district vice president for 22 years. Throughout his career, Dominic was passionate about the IAFF mission of protecting our members and fighting on their behalf. I was honored to call him my friend and humbled at the opportunity to see his name etched on the walls of our memorial. So often, ceremonies like ours today are somber, meant to reflect the respect that we have for those that gave their all. But just as the majestic Rocky Mountains and Pikes Peak rise up from the ground in the distance, we chose to use today to rise up in celebration of the lives of our brothers and sisters honored here and renew our commitment in their memory to making the job they work, the profession they love, safer for those still riding the rigs and working in fire stations and halls across two great nations. When we recall the memory of those whose names were read today, my hope is that while we may do it with a tear in our eye, we also feel the pleasant memories that puts a smile on our face. We're affirming that they are an inspiration to us all. Today, as we read those 250 names, I hope we use this time to remember the good times that each one brought and look back on the lives they lived and not just on their loss. Every name is a brave IAFF member whose life was full of energy and valor, who loved their family, who loved their crews they worked with, who served their communities well and are now part of a legacy and stories that will live on within these walls and within this park. And you, their families, you've already had to bear the terrible loss and mourn through their funerals. So our hope is today doesn't put you through another dark or sad time, but serves as a day of brightness, fond memories, sharing stories, and maybe some well-remembered humor. Today, this weekend, is our effort to make certain that the memory of our fallen lives on within ourselves, that we reflect on their contribution to our profession, to our communities, to our society. And we use today as the motivation to strive to do even better in the future, to do more to keep our members safe and healthy. That's the legacy your loved one would want and expect from us. Likely they wouldn't want us to weep. They would want us to be committed to do more for those that they have left behind. They would insist that we not be stuck in the past or even the present, They would encourage us to honor them by looking to the future, learn from the lessons of their experience, do everything we can in every way we can to prevent an additional line of duty death. That's how they would want their union to recognize their sacrifice. That should be their legacy, ensuring that their memory lives on not just with their name etched on these beautiful walls, but in our actions to make our profession better and safer for the generations to come. So while their death has certainly brought sorrow and mourning, this IAFF must remain dedicated to going beyond that. Our union must celebrate them and recognize their sacrifice by continuing our work, protecting firefighters and emergency medical personnel by making this dangerous job as safe as we possibly can. At this very moment, across two great nations, a box is coming in, or a fire bell rings, or the radio sounds an alarm, and our members answer the call. They set aside the danger and risk, and they put their whole self into the response because they know it's their duty. Selflessly, they will hop on that rig and ride off into the unknown situation, facing all manners of hazards and perilous conditions, and doing it knowing in the back of their mind they may not come home. They do it without the need for glory, without the need for their names to be prominent. They do it as part of a team, a brotherhood and sisterhood, their firefighter family. But this incredible commitment does not stop with their death. Instead, it lives on as we pay tribute to them, yes, in our words, but much more importantly, in our deeds. Many of those we honor today lost their lives on the fire ground, making the ultimate sacrifice, responding to the final call for help, without the ability to say goodbye to family and friends. So many others were lost in their battle with occupational cancer, a scourge that continues to grow due to the exposures to carcinogens and other toxic elements that are a reality of the job. And too many, with ever-increasing occurrence, are lost to the silent demons of our profession, the dark thoughts and feelings of helplessness from the grit and grind of the job that caused them unspeakable silent pain, resulting in their decision to end their own life. So not just today, but every day, each and every one of us here in this Memorial Park, watching online in firehouses across our two countries, must make sure that those of you, the families, realize that you didn't lose a son or daughter, brother or sister, husband or wife, father or mother, but you gained a family, our IAFF family, comprised of some of the strongest, most dedicated, bravest men and women I've ever known. You now have an extended family across the United States and Canada who are dedicated to making sure that the legacy of your loved one is our job to make sure, and our moral imperative, to make sure that our profession becomes safer and healthier, and we do it in their name. This is a charge that the IAFF doesn't take lightly in the memory of those who are inscribed. This union will never quit in our efforts to provide our members the most up-to-date safety equipment and training, the strongest workers' compensation protections, the best treatment options for occupational illnesses, remaining committed to working to prevent cancers that our members face on the job, making sure our brothers and sisters know that it's okay to come out of the shadows to address the post-traumatic stress, behavioral health, and co-occurring issues that our members struggle with, providing the best counseling, peer support, and recovery that they need to find a renewed sense of purpose. All of this and more to save the lives of firefighters across this IAFF. That is how we honor the legacy of our fallen. And these memorial grounds are a beautiful and fitting tribute to those who gave every measure of themselves. And today's ceremony honors them as best we know how, invoking the proud traditions that are steeped in the history of our profession and embraced over time. But it all falls short in expressing our sincere gratitude, not just to them, but for you, their families, with us today and back home. The IAFF is not just a union. We are a family, and a family never forgets. So while our traditions are meant to comfort you and show our respect for your loss, the words I say here, the folded flag you received with our condolences, the silence as our bagpipes played Amazing Grace, and we salute your loved one for one final time, will never begin to properly thank you for your sacrifice. And know that your sacrifice is never to be forgotten. We will make sure that your loved one's legacy lives on in our work. That is how we will honor you, and that is how we will thank you for your commitment to them. So may God bless each and every one of you. May God bless the firefighters out there on the front lines, and most importantly, may God bless the men and women forever remembered on these hallowed walls.
Whenever a member of this union falls in the line of duty, the colors of our two great nations, of this beautiful state, and of our very own IAFF are lowered from full staff to half staff from time of notification through sunset of the day of that member's funeral. The honor guard will now raise our memorial flags and then solemnly lower them to half staff in memory of your loved ones. At this time, Please rise as the IAFF Memorial Honor Guard retires the colors and lowers the memorial flags.
National colors. Ready? Fix. Present. Off. Order. Off. Prepare to retrieve colors. Ready? Retrieve. Left. Face. Left. Face. Other ones. Forward. March.
All uniformed personnel, attend. Present. Up. Order. Out. Present. Out. Order. Out.
Right. Turn. Cover. Hey.
Please be seated. As we bring this memorial to a close, the IAFF Honor Guard Commander, Bruce Brown, of Orange County, California, Local 3631. Deputy Commander John Sobey of Ottawa, Ontario, Local 162. Deputy Commander Brent Jones of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Local 215. And Pipe Major Hunter Chapeau of Houston, Texas, Local 341, will render a final salute to the families of our fallen and retrieve our honor guard. Thank you to the Colorado Springs Chorale for performing today to honor our fallen brothers and sisters and their families. To you, the families of our fallen brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us in remembering your loved ones. We hope that this has been a moving and memorable tribute for all of you. We want you to know that this memorial is your memorial. As General President Schaetberger made clear, you are part of our family and are welcome to return here anytime. We do hope you will visit us again. Please remain in your seats during the Honor Guard dismissal. Once the Honor Guard commanders exit the memorial, please join General President Schaetberger in the field behind your seats as the IAFF Memorial Honor Guard forms its final formation to the music of the IAFF pipes and drums. God bless each of you as you travel home.
Present. Order. On.
Pipe Major, by your command,